This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
All right, let's talk to our friend Tom Murphy as we welcome him in this morning to the program. Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. Tom, good to welcome you in this Thursday morning. We got plenty to discuss. I want to talk about Kenny Guyton first. Reports out there, Football Scoop, Bruce Feldman, others that he is taking or taken the Wisconsin wide receivers job. Nothing official just yet. What do you think is going to play out in terms of Arkansas side of things of who they could potentially look to fill that role?
Yeah, good morning, Ty. Yeah, that's the hottest news in Fayetteville, I guess, right now is, Kenny Guyton is gone. Now, I can't confirm he is definitely taking the Wisconsin job position, but that's what all the reports seem to be. But he's out of Arkansas. And, you know, I saw the stuff about Garrick McGee, who was here, you know, under Petrino before. And, you know, Bruce Feldman seemed to indicate there had not been any connection or any discussion. But now Louisville's bowl game is over. So if there's anything that's going to heat up with Garrick, I think it will come pretty soon. But otherwise, I mean, there's some great recruiters like Damian Craig out there and a lot of different ways Arkansas could go. But having a strong recruiter on the staff is priority number one for Sam Pittman.
Yeah, Tom, does your experience tell you if Football Scoop is reporting this? We were talking about this earlier. It's probably already happened. It's probably a done deal at this point as far as Kenny Guyton going to Wisconsin.
Right. And, you know, it's hard to keep up with everyone if they're 100% accurate, but Football Scoop has certainly grown in stature in recent years. And I know they've been wrong in the past on some things, but on this one, I think they're spot on. I don't know what's happening with Wisconsin on officially announcing it or what have you there. But, yeah, on this one, I believe they're good.
Tom, we've spent some time this week talking about the transfer portal, and they went from 60 days to 45 days before the season began. It ends on December the 2nd for this cycle. Do you think that the next change will be from 45 to 30 days, where they basically have a 15-day period in the winter and a 15-day period in the spring? Or do you think they'll keep it as is with, again, the ever changes, what seemed to be going on in college football?
Yeah, all speculation there, but I would hope so, that they narrow it down even further. You saw Lane Kiffin's complaints getting ready for their bowl game about how no other sport has created a system in which your season is still active and bowls get announced and then bam, coaches can actually call players on your current roster and start recruiting them. And it is pretty wild. And I think if there's a strong push, enough opinions out there similar to Lane Kiffin's, that you will see change. And here's the thing. When it came into being 5 years ago in 2018, it was about player mobility and, coaching changes happen. Why can't guys leave, without penalties and things like that? And so it came into being. But now as you see the unbelievable numbers of players who get in the portal, there has to be some reckonings and some adjustments to the way the portal is operated. And I do believe it would probably be a little bit better for the sport if they were to reduce the number of days, because I think players, some of them might sit on the fence when the portal opens, but others, a vast majority, I would say, already know what they want to do. But here's the kicker. It's the NIL money. They're not sure what they might be able to get here or somewhere else. And that's probably something that causes longer periods of wait. And honestly, I've heard stories of players saying they've been offered this, that, or the other somewhere else, and it not being the case. So it's a wild deal, and I think Tommy and I called it the Wild Wild West back when it happened, and that's what we're seeing.
Yeah, it's kind of ironic that Lane Kiffin, by the way, we're talking with Tom Murphy on the McCarty-Daniel hotline. It's kind of ironic that Lane Kiffin is bashing the transfer portal, considering he has benefited the most so far with this recruiting cycle. For those that don't know, Evan Stewart right now is projected to potentially land at Ole Miss amongst other schools. They have the number one portal team right now. They could potentially land the best wide receiver in this class. How do you reconcile him making those comments and at the same time utilizing it to his advantage the best they can in Oxford?
Well, it's interesting. Lane plays for Lane, and he's got an audience, and he's an outspoken guy. I mean, I enjoy the fact he's in the sport. Sometimes I agree with his comments, and in this case, I do think there needs to be some modifications. When he's talked at SEC Media Days about it's free agency, I mean, he's on. That's what it is. And when he talked about how the teams that had the best NIL deals did the best, you saw what happened. The Grove grew, its collective grew, and they obviously have more money to offer now. And I'll tell you guys, Evan Stewart, when he was dinged up in that game against Arkansas this year, that was when Arkansas made a move and was back in the game when he was not playing for them. I mean, their other receivers were not near as good. You saw how thin they were at that spot last night, and some of those guys have come along, but number 9, he did not have a good game against Arkansas, and last night, he had a few drops as well. So I think Evan Stewart is a high-quality receiver, and if Ole Miss were to get him, they've got a front line of some dudes that are going to be tough to deal with.
Tom Murphy with us on the McLarty-Daniel hotline. Let's shift gears to basketball, the final non-conference game coming up on Saturday, UNC Wilmington. Tom, this is a team that's dangerous. Beat Kentucky in a non-conference game earlier this year. How does Arkansas, what are the final steps here as they prepare for conference play beginning a week from Saturday against Auburn?
Yeah, so the metrics say that their defense has to improve, and I agree with that. I just think that opponent offensive rebounds, opponent free throw attempts, the field goal percentage for opponents is up from recent years under Musselman, and that's got to improve. And SEC play, it's going to be hard for them to improve their net ranking unless they just start rattling off a bunch of wins. And right now the metrics say that's going to be difficult to do because how other teams stay in games and how they get quality field goal attempts against Arkansas. So a lot of improving to do. I've said over and over on this show that Eric Musselman has enough of a background that we can believe that things are going to get better. But I think they're going to improve. This team's going to get better, but will they improve enough to be an NCAA tournament team? That's what's at stake here as we enter into conference play very soon.
You even want to take a guess at a starting lineup on Saturday? It's been shuffled around a lot here as of late. So any guesses who would be the first 5 before in this final non-con game?
Well, I mean, does he have enough input to know Battle's better off the bench or Mark is better off the bench? Mark is such a great scorer. Both of those guys are great scorers. So I think you're going to start one of those two. And then, what did Keon Minifield do for you the other night? Is he better in the starting lineup? Maybe he is. And El Ellis is the guy who seems to be, when you start checking out the minutes, whose minutes are going to be reduced. So maybe he gets one more shot in the starting lineup. But I don't know. No, I don't hazard a guess because
exactly.
There's no telling.
That was kind of the point. Tom, Happy New Year. We'll catch up next week and talk about the new horizon in a new calendar year.
Outstanding. See y'all.
BetOnline is your #1 source for all your betting needs. Get the latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use our promo code BELIEVE. That's BLEAV for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, where the game starts.